I'm going to rank crypto games from best to worst in these 3 categories. Games that are available to play right now. Games that have potential to be really big. Games that aren't out yet. We're ranking them based on gameplay, graphics, but also based on the in-game economy, the tokenomics, NFT integration, so the finance side of things as well as the gameplay side of things. I kinda know what you're thinking right now. It says episode 1 in the title, and that is because every episode of the tier list series will have 10 different games on it. This particular list today has only games that are available to play right now. Now, some of the games are in beta stages, but some of the games are already live. On today's list, we're gonna have Illuvium, Undead Blocks, Splinterlands, Decentraland, and a couple more games. And I want you guys to tell me in the comment section whether you're gonna agree with the list or not, and also what games you want to see in the next tier list that I may have missed for this one. With that being said, smack that little like button. It only takes you half a second, means a lot to me, means a lot to the YouTube algorithm, and let's get the show on the road. We're starting here with Undead Blocks. Undead Blocks, a game I have covered before on this channel. It is still in the beta stages. It's a zombie shooter game, and Undead Blocks requires you to have an NFT in order to play. I do have NFTs, I do play, and I do earn money with it, so it does have the element of earning to it. The gameplay is fine. It is good gameplay. It's not the best gameplay. It's nothing revolutionary, but it's definitely good. They're working on a dual token system where the coin you earn in the game is a stable coin, so I kind of like that part about it. But not gonna waste too much time, as I do have separate videos where I explain the games in detail. I'll just kind of brush through them in order to explain to those of you who haven't heard about the particular games. As far as Undead Blocks goes, because it's still in the beta stages, I'm gonna put Undead Blocks at a strong C as it currently stands. We're gonna see once it fully comes out and they have the rent NFT feature, how big it's actually going to be. So next on the list, we have the Sandbox. Oh man, the Sandbox, one of my favorite crypto games of all time, easily. Amazing gameplay, full metaverse. Everybody's heard about the Sandbox. You earn the token by completing the challenges and the tournaments that they give. The Sandbox is really self-explanatory. I know a lot of you guys think Sandbox as your favorite game, so I'm gonna put Sandbox at the A tier. This is an easy A tier for me. As you notice here, there is no S tier, because in my opinion, an S tier crypto game does not exist yet. Right now, Sandbox is A tier, first on A tier, definitely for now. We're gonna see one of the other games I might like more. Keep in mind, this is my own personal tier list, so this is just my thoughts. If you don't agree with me, that is totally fine. Tell me in the comments, where would you rank the Sandbox? Where would you rank Undead Blocks? Onwards and upwards, Thetan Arena. From a pure gameplay perspective, Thetan Arena is super fun. A huge fan of Thetan Arena's gameplay. What I'm not a huge fan of is that it died in like a month since coming out. Their dual economy system did not work. I earned a lot of money first week of Thetan Arena, second week it fell down, third week it fell down even more, fourth week it kind of died out. The gameplay was super fun. I actually had times where I was sitting with my friends in a room, we sat down in a circle, the 4 of us, put a power extension cord in the middle, charging our phones and just playing Thetan Arena, earning money with the NFTs. It was a fun 2 weeks, and that's it. I'm so sad about that because it's an actual good MOBA. So as far as gameplay goes, really good. As far as tokenomics go, they had a good idea, very bad execution. It definitely didn't work out as far as the NFT integrations. It didn't work out the way it was supposed to. Very good idea though. Thetan Arena, I would love to put it at B tier, but I just cannot because it died so fast. I'm gonna put Thetan Arena still on C tier. It is not a D tier, doesn't deserve D tier, but C tier and below Undead Blocks for now is how I see Thetan Arena at this point in time. With that being said, let's go on. How should I start this? So should I start by saying that this is my favorite crypto game? That might not be a popular opinion. I know, it's a card game. It's God's Unchained. It is a card game. How can a card game be my favorite? Well, for those of you that follow this channel, you know that I love my card games. I'm a huge fan of card games ever since Yu-Gi-Oh! In the 90s. I used to play it as a kid. A lot of real life trading card games, and then later with Hearthstone, with Legends of Runeterra, just a huge fan of card games. Gods Unchained is very similar. I have separate videos where I talk only about Gods Unchained if that's something you're interested in. You can't earn a lot, but their earning mechanics are really good. So Gods Unchained's earning mechanics work so you have 10 ranked games per day. And if you win all 10, you're gonna earn coins. For those that you lose, you're not gonna earn anything. And for those that you win, depending on how you won, how many health points you have left, you're gonna earn more or less. So Gods Unchained, my absolutely favorite crypto game right now. It's a card game. There's no game better than Gods Unchained in crypto right now, in my personal opinion. It is A tier and it is above the Sandbox. Of course, that is my opinion, might be very controversial opinion, considering it's a card game. Not a lot of people are fans of card games, and that is totally fine. I am. Huge fan. Gods Unchained, A tier, top of A tier for me. Moving on to the next card game, we got Splinterlands. Now, Splinterlands is an older game than Gods Unchained. This might also be a controversial one, but I prefer Gods Unchained. I really do. I prefer Gods Unchained, and I even think I prefer the Sandbox to Splinterlands. Splinterlands you can't play for completely free, as you can also Gods Unchained, as you can as well with the Sandbox. There are NFT cards, of course, but not to waste too much time on this, I'm gonna put it F tier. Just kidding. Did that trigger some of you? I know it did. No, I'm gonna put it at the top of B tier right now, just because I'm such a huge fan of card games. I do prefer the gameplay of Gods Unchained. I do prefer their ruling system and their cards to Splinterlands. Splinterlands still being a great game. I'm not taking anything away from them. I prefer Splinterlands to Undead blocks. With that being said, a game that is not out yet, Kompete. As I said, we're gonna have games like this on the list as well, games that are not out yet, but we do have gameplay of. So we do have gameplay of Kompete, and Kompete currently is in the beta stages, and it will be free to play. It'll have NFT, play to earn support, and all of that fun jazz. Their own ERC20 token. Let's see, it's not doing too bad. And this compared to Ethereum, it's not doing bad at all, actually. Oh my god, their coin is popping off. Okay, their coin is doing really good right now. But here we go, based on the gameplay, it looks good. I haven't tried it. Here is the thing, why do I have these games that are not out yet? Well, it is out for Windows for the beta stages, so you can play it. It does look really good. It is out right now to download for free and play for free. Earning system is not live yet, so I can't rank it based on that. What I can rank it on is based on what we see and based on the potential. So it is not out yet, so therefore it cannot be A. Like, it's right away. There's no way I can put it at A if the earning mechanics are not out, if the tokenomics are not out. What does it look like and what's its potential is C tier at the most. That is the reason why I have these games here, the games that are not fully out, fully developed as of this point. I will still keep them on the list because it's crypto. We do stock in speculations. We do talk in tokenomics, in-game economy, the rise and fall of their own token. We talk in those terms here. So for me personally, Kompete is a strong C right now based on everything we saw. Based on the potential it could have. It could be huge. The Battle Royale mode could be absolutely astronomically huge for Kompete. This is how you rank crypto games. You cannot rank crypto games just based on gameplay. This is a whole new medium for a whole new set of audience. Of course we're interested in the gameplay, but we're also interested in the finance side of things. If we were to only judge the crypto games based on gameplay, all of them would be F tier. Let's not beat around the bush. We do not judge these games with the same ferocity that we judge Web 2 games. Web 2 games are held to a much higher standard. So this is the Web 2 game standard, and this, can you see my hand? No, you can't, it's that low. That's the standard for Web 3 games that we have right now and how we judge them. Because they do have the finance element. Web 2 games are just a place where you sink your time, and lose your money in. Web 3 games, yes, you lose your time, but you can gain money. Huge upside. Huge upside. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Kompete, strong C tier. Moving on to Illuvium. Very strong F tier for Illuvium. And now moving on to the next game. Just kidding. No, of course not. Of course not. Illuvium looks really good. The beta is out. Their play to earn element isn't out yet, but they do have their NFTs. They made an amazing thing with NFTs of how you can basically construct your own Illuvators, adding custom NFT parts to their heads, to their face, just basically accessories like glasses, hats, and stuff, and then you can mint that NFT for you and maybe sell it, give it away. But Illuvium is a game I like more than Undead blocks, so Illuvium will go at the top of C tier. As you can see, guys, I'm not biased. I'm talking to the guys at Illuvium. I'm not sponsored by them, but I am talking to them. I'm good friends with them. As things stand now, Gods Unchained, the Sandbox, Splinterlands is higher on the list than Illuvium. We're gonna revisit lists as games get more patches and updates, as games get released. Illuvium is not fully released yet. It cannot be A tier if it's not fully released and the whole tokenomics system is out there, because if we're not judging based on tokenomics, I can put Thetan Arena at the top of S tier right now, just based on gameplay. We're not doing that. We're judging based on tokenomics, we're judging based on in-game economy, how it performs as well, not just how it looks on paper, how it performs. Thetan Arena did terrible in the performance sector. I hope that's not a controversial opinion, it is just my opinion. If we're rating the games based on all of that I said, this is just how it looks. This is just me being realistic. It is not just gameplay. Crypto games are not just gameplay. Anyway, moving on, Decentraland. Now, okay, this is gonna be a controversial one for 100%. Since this is my own personal opinion, first and foremost, it's my personal opinion, and then it's tokenomics, gameplay, and everything else. I just don't like Decentraland. I just don't like it. For me personally, it's not a game that I can appreciate. I know where it is, I know what it is, what it represents, how early that game was in crypto, how important that game is to crypto. I understand all of that. But have you played it? I just don't like it. It's just my personal thing. I just don't like it. Their coin, Mana, great coin. It performs great. It's good for trading. I do hold Mana a little bit on spot as well. I'm just not a huge fan of the gameplay, and for the life of me, I cannot put it anywhere else other than the D tier. And now that I'm looking at this list, there might need to be some adjustments. Some adjustments might need to be made, but that is currently how it stands. We'll see at the end if we're gonna make any changes. Axie Infinity, game that definitely has a lot of potential going on. Decentraland, I don't think it has too much potential. I think it reached its peak. Again, my personal opinion. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. But as far as Axie Infinity goes, I can definitely see the longevity of Axie Infinity. It's already been around for a very long time, and it's still being played. Me personally, not a fan of the gameplay. I don't like the auto battlers too much. They can be great if done right. Their tokenomics have held up. You can't earn a lot still, but they have held up the test of time. They really have held up the test of time. This is a difficult one. This is a difficult one. I don't want to put Axie in the B tier just because their tokenomics have failed recently as of the bear market, but I just don't like Axie Infinity's gameplay. I'm just definitely not a fan of Axie Infinity's gameplay. I prefer Decentraland a lot, and if I put Decentraland in the D tier, Axie Infinity goes below that in the D tier as well. This is what my list looks like so far. We got one more game here, and that is Valhalla from Floki Inu. This game is live right now. It is not free to play, but it does have NFT support. You can obtain their coin Floki, and while it does look pretty nice from everything I see and read in the gameplay, look, it's like Web 2 games back in 2005. That's what it looks like, but that's what a lot of games here look like. I don't think I'm gonna put it in F tier, but there definitely needs this needs some adjustments, that's for sure. It's totally fine. You can not agree with me. That's you're right, of course. There needs to be adjustments made here. Kompete is not out. It is not fully out. It doesn't have the tokenomics. Kompete goes in D tier for that reason. Kompete will rise up on my tier list, that is for sure, once everything gets released and once I can really get my hands on it and start testing it out and seeing how much I can earn. So here we go. F tier is for the games I do not like. It doesn't matter if it's to be released, if it's already released, it's just games I do not like. D tier is for the games that are not out yet, that may be playable but don't have the full tokenomics and NFT system integrated and the in-game economy in place. C tier is for the games that I do like but haven't done the economy part quite well, or games that I do not like but have done the economy part really well. And of course it is also reserved for games that have huge potential, which is Illuvium in this case. Illuvium has amazing potential, but I cannot put it in B tier just because of the fact that it is not fully out. It is in the beta stages, but Undead Blocks is in the beta stages as well. And if you really think about it, Sandbox is also kind of in the beta stages as well, and I put it on A tier, but that is because they have done everything right. Sandbox has done everything right. It is fully out. It is fully out. The earning is fully out. In Illuvium, you cannot earn the ILV coin right now. You will be able to later down the road, but right now you cannot. So I cannot judge it based on that because it's not out, so it cannot be in B tier or A tier. The highest that it can be is C for this, and it got the absolutely highest place that it could. Of course, Splinterlands, amazing game, old school card game, love it. B tier, strong B tier, my favorite game of all time, my favorite crypto game of all time, and the game that is fully sustainable. You cannot earn a lot, but you can earn is still Gods Unchained, I still play it every other day. I still play ranked matches and I do amazing in them. Just huge fan. Sandbox and Gods Unchained are the only 2 games that I really do play right now just for fun. And that's it. This is my list. Let me know, do you agree with my list? Do you disagree with my list? What games do you want to see next on the second episode of the Inspector's tier list? Let me know all of that, and I shall cover them and I shall give you my opinion on everything. With that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.